teachers, this quick training tutorial is to help you better understand the difference between assigning the interactive student edition and the personal math trainer for students. There are some similarities between those assignments because the personal math trainers are separate, almost like a practice page, and the interactive student edition has the lesson with the personal math trainers embedded in it. So if you didn't know this by now, every lesson in Go Math has one interactive student edition which contains two personal math trainers, and then there are two separate personal math trainers. And I want to show you why if you assign the interactive student edition, it may not make sense for you to also assign the personal math trainers, because in essence you may be making the student do double the work. So I'm in a student account right now. This happens to be for a first grade student. And I'm going to go into my scores because I've assigned things and I've done these assignments completely, rather poorly, I might add, just to show you what you can see. So we have first, would be your interactive student edition, and this happened to be for lesson 1.1. And when the student clicks on it, they can see that they got a score for this question. They can even view the exact question. And then they can see the score for the second question. So this is within the interactive student edition. There is one personal math trainer with 2 questions and one personal math trainer with 7 questions. And you'll see that the score shows up. So we've got a question about 6 and 1 fish equals, should be 7 fish. Yes. Counting fish this morning. Okay, so that's the interactive student edition. So now if I go into the individual personal math trainers assigned and I click in here, we'll see that there were 6 questions in this personal math trainer. Some of the questions looks like 2 out of 2, so worth a different amount of points. So the personal math trainer labeled homework had 6 questions in it. And then if I go back into my scores, the personal math trainer labeled test and quizzes or share and show had 2 questions in it. So in essence, the students got about the same amount of questions, whether they had the regular personal math trainers or they were doing the personal math trainers through the interactive student edition. So now I want to show you from a teacher perspective what this looks like, because you can see the breakdown for students even when you assign the ISE. So I'm going to click into assignments and I'm going to locate the ISE I assigned this one student and they completed, and I'm going to click on results. So now you see this overall percentage. So you see a combined score, the percentage on the elaborate section, and the percentage on the evaluate section. So if I click into this, here's that elaborate section. There are 2 questions for students. If I click here, here's the breakdown. There's 7 questions for students on the evaluate section. When I click into each of these questions, I can still see down to question by question how the student has done. So if you are assigning the interactive student edition and the regular personal math trainers, in essence, you're making students do double the problems. So just be aware of that as you are assigning. There is a slight variance in the problems. However, it's just a variance in numbers. So there's still a fish problem in both, but one has, 4 plus 1 and the other has 5 plus 1 or something like that. So if I go into This would be the homework, and I click on this and I go into the question. I'm going to see, okay, so it's still the same fish problem. It just gives you different numbers in this case. But that's going to be the case for all students doing personal math trainers. Is a lot of times there is a chance that different numbers will pop up regardless of what type of assignment they're in. So just as you're assigning, be aware of the fact that you can go in and see the breakdown even for the ISE all the way down to the individual question for a student.